All right, we are live. Come on now, people. That's what I'm very excited for another episode of Let's Talk Photography. Let me make sure everything. Yes, there we go. Yep, got the soundboard going. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's give it a second. Let folks come on in as I fine tune my stuff. So we are going to be talking about photography failures and what are those mistakes that we've learned from those failures. What are the lessons we learned, excuse me, from the failures that we've made. I thought about this topic because of the fact that, all right, let me go. I'm going live on a TikTok at the same time, folks. Okay. There we go. We're going live. There we go. We are live on TikTok. Let's see how this works. Got my cell phone right here. So if I ever look over here, it's at the cell phone. And if I'm looking right here, those on TikTok, well, I'm looking at my camera. All right. Let me just fix this up a little bit. There we go. We should be good. Let's see here. Feel free to let me know who's in the house. Hey, Fajar, good to see you. Awesome. All right, you commuting to work. That's what I'm talking about. I wanted to try out the 4 o'clock versus my usual 5 p.m. just to see what you all think. Does that 1 hour make a difference? I was thinking a lot about those on the East Coast that the old time at 5 p.m. means most folks are already probably relaxing, who knows, at 8 p.m. So this gives a little bit extra earlier hour, and hopefully this works out good. If so, I'll keep the 4 p.m. rocking and rolling. All right. So let's see here. We got a lot to go over. As I mentioned, just oh uh yes, that D6. I know. Adios to that. And the 3514G Nano also gets wow in that lens. That's something. Bye-bye to DSLR, I'll tell you that. It's that says a lot. Everybody there on TikTok, we are live right now on YouTube in case you want to join the conversation. All right? Feel free to join us. We are talking about photography mistakes today. All right? Hey, Mushi, what's up, drunk wedding photographer? Good to see you. We are streaming 2 ways today. 2 ways, okay? We are on TikTok and YouTube all at the same time. All right. So we'll see how this goes. I want to plan to do this more often. I wish I could use one platform to stream to TikTok and YouTube all at once. So I'll figure that out soon enough. All right. You like the. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you like the 4 p.m. Okay. I looks like so far. Let me put this up as a poll. Let's do a question. All right. Should I stream at 4 p.m. instead of 5 p.m.? All right. Let's see. Okay. And that's Pacific Standard Time. Okay. Because just in case folks are wondering what I mean. Boom. I just started the poll. Please comment on the poll. Let me know what you think, because this is only going to allow me to make sure I provide the stream at the best time for most of you out there, especially my regulars. Hey, everybody on TikTok, what's up with you? If you want to join the discussion, come here on YouTube at Robert Silver Photography, and you could join the discussion live in the chat. Fajar says, I still keep my D750 if I want autofocus, even AI. Oh, okay. But the Z5 II sounds like even a C cam for me whenever that hits. That Z5 II looks very impressive for the price point and what it can do. And I always like a compact camera that can really kick butt. For me right now, it's still the Z6 Mark II for what I do. But it's like they stuffed a lot of great video features in that Z5 too. So quite honestly, I can see why it's very appealing. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the next 6 months. If these what is it, import taxes and stuff like that, the tariffs stay. How's that going to affect the industry? How's that going to affect releases of cameras, especially here in America and North America? Well, in America, really. So I'm really curious to see what comes because I'm sure some companies are going to answer back with that Z5 Mark II release. Malcolm, welcome, man. Yeah. Malcolm, let me know if you want to join the chat. You're more than welcome to. If anybody there on TikTok wants to join the live chat, come check me out right now on YouTube, and you could join the live chat and jump on this discussion, what we're talking about. All right. Let me see if invite. Here we go. All right. So here we go. If anybody wants to join the live chat, jump on board. Click to join. There we go. I just posted the link in the live chat. If you want to jump on with me, you're all good. Malcolm, you're always welcome. Don't you worry about that. Fajar comes back and says, sure, you and some folks always say wait for sale, even a year-long review before taking for hobbyists. That seems like a good start. Yeah. Like I was looking at the Lumix S1R Mark II, and I thought to myself, if I just wait, probably I'm going to say September, October, when it gets closer to holiday sales and they're starting to prep and you have Black Friday and everything else, I bet that S1R Mark II is going to show a little bit of a dent in that price. And because I almost considered buying another Lumix S5 Mark II. And I was like, wait a minute, the S1R Mark II is awesome. So maybe, and it's like not that much. It's what is it? 30% more, 33% more from $2,000 to 3,200. And I said, if I just wait a little bit longer, I bet there'll be a discount on that S1R Mark II. Yeah, because I don't need 8K right now. I'm shooting my next project in 10 days, the next film project in 10 days, and I'm shooting that at 6K open gate. So I really don't need 8K. Okay, but I like the open gate thing. So that's what I'm banging with right now. What's up, everybody there on TikTok? Awesome. Good to see you all. Let me see this thing here. I'm still getting used to going live on TikTok. Okay. Let's see. Can I do a unlock quick poll requirement? How do we do this here? Oh, Jesus. You know what? TikTok, you got to do all these hoops and shit. Excuse me. Just to do a quick. You help me get to, I want to get to 10K, baby, everybody. Hey, if you're on TikTok right now, if you're kind of digging what we're talking about, even though you can't hear everybody else here on YouTube, please make sure you go ahead and follow my page. Press that heart. It's free 99. All right, let's be honest. It's free 99. And that goes for you too there in YouTube world. You make sure you go ahead and smash that like. All right. Okay, no problem. Malcolm won't make it tonight. Okay, awesome. Oh, shoot. Right on. Oh, that's awesome. All right, yeah. Next week, come on board, Malcolm, if you can. That'll be great. I'll send you an email prior to if you want to jump on board. We'd love to have you. Tell us all about your video excursions. Now, when you say shot film, is that film camera or like you're just using that as a synonym to video? Okay. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, everybody, tuning in on TikTok. This is great. This is great. Thank you all. Smash that heart for me, please. We are discussing today the failures, the lessons we learned through failing. Okay. That's ultimately what today's going to be about. But before we get into that, come on now, let's get into some of this good old business. All right. So here's the overlay. Now, where is it? Media. Awesome. So if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and there we go. Follow me on all the socials. I am on Facebook. I'm pretty active on Facebook, quite honestly. And I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. Like right now, I'm live for a few of you over there. Thank you for watching. And I'm on Threads. Okay, doing something over there. I have no clue where my posts go on Threads, but I post anyway. All right, so there you go. If you want to support this channel, there's numerous ways, which is so easy. You could easily send a super chat, super sticker, or become a member of the channel. And I believe I'm about to lower, I'm only going to have one tier, quite honestly. But either way, it all helps to allow me to dedicate more time and energy to create dope content. Because believe it or not, content takes a long time to make. Okay. I do have my fashion photography Lightroom presets. If you do any portraits or wedding or headshots, etc., these portrait presets are a great way for you to get started in creating something cool. Because when I use my own presets, quite honestly. I had these were a set of mine for maybe a year and a half, and then I decided to just put them out. But I used them just to get me in the pocket real quick. Now they're not a save all solution, right? But it gets you there much quicker and perhaps gives you a creative idea to launch off of. So you could go ahead and check out my Lightroom presets. Link is in the description section down below. All right. For those under a rock or haven't subscribed, you can check out my latest video where I review the full aim X6 wireless microphone. And these are cool. And the only reason why I decided to review the full aim X6 wireless microphones is because it has one receiver, but 4 transmitters. That's right, 4 microphones in this package to one receiver. And that means I could record like a group interview, podcast, whatever, film, creative film situations, 4 mics into one camera at simultaneously. So that's pretty dope. I really like that feature. So I was like, you know what? Let me check these out because I'm sure there might be somebody out there who has to do a let's say, podcast video setup or filmmaking where you're miking multiple people and you're filmmaking on a budget. This will be great. It comes with, dead cats. It comes with a charger cable that you could charge all 4 of the mics at once. It's all USB-C charge and noise cancellation. So it's a great budget way to be able to get good audio, isolated audio, all on one video track. That's pretty dope. Okay. Shoot, we got some comments. Let's check this out. Again, for anybody there on TikTok, if you want to come join the live discussion, check me out on YouTube right now. They got a creative angle. The people on TikTok, they can kind of see like my photos over here, which is pretty cool, right? So anyway, thank you for anybody who's watching there on the TikTok world. You won't see me do a dance, but hopefully you find this somewhat entertaining. Oh, okay. Wow. I'm not that brave with the 35 millimeter film, I'll tell you. Well, I can't wait to hear about the failures of the film because I'll tell you, the last time I shot a roll of film, like, I don't know, some years ago, I thought I smashed it. It had to have been 5 years ago, but I thought I smashed it. I was like, yeah, this roll is going to be so clean. I can't wait to develop them. And then when I got them back, because of my bad eyesight, I'm telling you that it was blurry. But if I was shooting blurry, I would have been a master. Damn mid-roll ads on live. Oh, shoot, man. Let's see. As much as the technical failures I have towards my clients, soft skill hits the hardest. Especially communication, breaking the ice, making them comfortable. That's hard for quiet person. That is a phenomenal point. Okay. One of the biggest failures is the inability to communicate or not effectively communicate. I wouldn't say inability, but I'll say, building, not having that, what do you call it? Soft skill. Soft skills are so important. Actually, I think they're more important than the photography, especially when you're trying to get a client, because of the fact that when they have to be committed to you. They're booking you. And what I mean by that is not the camera, not everything else. They see your skill, but your skill doesn't keep you in it. Like it'll get you in the door, but it won't keep you in the house. Right. So a lot of times it's that soft skill. That's why I try to convert my clients. Like, as soon as I get an email response, I say, call me, call me, call me, call me, or virtual chat, because I know that I'm going to be able to lock in that client. If I have more of a chance of locking in that client if I could talk to them. If I could talk to them, I'll lock them in because it's personality. They say, hey, I really like him. I feel confident. This is great. And these are all these things that you could convey, that your website, your Instagram, your TikTok, none of that conveys it. It's that face-to-face, old school, soft skill of effective verbal communication. And they also see your mannerisms. They see how you conduct yourself. They see whether, your hair is okay, whatever. All these subconscious subliminal messages that affirms your skill set and gets them to be much more comfortable. And many times you want that comfort level to be increased, because then they open up and then you come up with some creative stuff. And then all of a sudden now you're shooting the baby bump photos after the wedding. And then now you're shooting their cousin's wedding, and whatever the case may be. So some of the best clients are repeat clients. All right. So with all that said, yes, that's a phenomenal soft skill to work on, which is communication. All right. Thank you, everybody who is on TikTok. Thank you all. Smash that heart for me. If you want to join the live discussion, I'm right now on YouTube talking to my regular fam over here. All right. All right. Let's get into some of the photography news. Okay. Hold on. Let me go over here. Okay. Let's get over to the media, and look at this. I got a new wait, do I have a new product to share with you guys? Let me see. You know what? I do. I do have something I want to share with you. I told you guys last week. Oh, I want to tell you an update is what I want to do. All right, let's do a product highlight. Let's go. All right, here we are. Product highlight for today's podcast. Check this out. Check this out. I got a set of these, as many of you know. Last week I talked about the Suray Vision Prime full frame cine lenses. Take a look, TikTok. Take a look. Look at that, brother. I tell you. T104, super bright, great for low light. I don't care what anybody says. I just did a run through and a table read with an actor. I'm filming a micro short film to test these lenses out, so stay tuned. I just completed the shot list today. We went to the location. We did some filming of some creative shots on a rooftop. We're going to shoot in sunset. We're going to use the full set of these. So again, I have the 50, a 24, and a 35 millimeter. 67 millimeter filter thread. Let me see if you guys can see that. There you go. 67 millimeter, which means very affordable filters. Check that out, everybody on TikTok. Look at that right there. And as you can tell, I'm currently using the L mount. You see that L mount right there? Yeah. And you can tell right here, folks, I love this part, is where I know which mount I'm using. Now, I did the unboxing and initial review of these lenses on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out. But like I said earlier, you could change the mount from RF to E to L and Z mount. That's right, Nikon. Z mount. And it's super easy to do. I show it in my video. I love these lenses. I love them more now that I own it, but also because when we shot them yesterday, the reason why I want to show you these again is because we shot it yesterday, and I was just absolutely impressed with the character of these lenses. I'm really, really happy. Again, I think now brand new, it's like 1,800 for the whole set, but for 3 lenses, full frame, oh yeah. Oh yeah, this thing's kick butt. If you shoot video, if you're a filmmaker or someone aspiring to be, these are a great affordable package made out of metal, great design, and the focus throw is like 200 degrees. So you have a lot of throw. This thing, woo. You have a lot of throw, which means precision and accuracy when you're focusing. I love that. Okay. Little nerd stuff for those there on TikTok. If you know, you know. Hey, Nikon user. That's what's up, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You could get Z mount for these too. Z mount. Now, I don't have an affiliation with them. I'm just sharing my experience. I have zero affiliation with these folks. Okay. But if Sue Ray is watching, holla at your boy. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now this is the other thing I want to share with you guys for a product. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's check out these comments. Is the fear of happiness. The fear of happiness. Oh, shoot. We don't want that. Oh, nice. I love Snapple. Hello, is the 400 millimeter TC give a no, this is not. I'm sorry, Nick. I am no. That's my soft skill. There you go, brother. Hey, Greg, good to see you, man. Yeah, shout out to Greg. All right, got some good names on my stream over here on YouTube. So if you're on TikTok, feel free to check us out live right now on my YouTube at Robert Silver Photography. Here's another thing I want to share with you guys. Give me a second here, okay? Let's see how fast I can get this. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's cut that off. Check this out. I think I mentioned this last week. Let's take this off, actually. This is the Atomos Shinobi Go. It's their new lightweight, super ultra thin monitor, field monitor. If you shoot any sort of video for anything, even for yourself, because I use this actually for creating my YouTube videos. But what I do is look how thin this thing is. Look how thin this thing is. This is with a cage. This is a cage by Small Rig, but look how thin that is. Look at that. Okay. 5-inch monitor, all touch screen. This is my favorite part. It's light as hell. Okay, let me say it again for those folks in the back. Light as hell. Super light. Even with the cage, it's pretty light. I like the cage because you have the attachments. And if you want in the cage, the cage comes with the visor. So if you want to use a visor with it, you got to get the cage. Well, it all comes together, but nonetheless. But I'm telling you, if you need a high grade, it's like 1,500 nits, a high grade, very inexpensive, extremely light. I use this on my Ronin RS3 Pro so that I have a monitor. Boom, no problem. I use this on my for sure my camera, my shoulder rig, and I use it on top of my camera over here when I need to frame myself for my YouTube videos. I'm telling you, the Shinobi Go is really, really cool, and it packs all the features you need. So again, no affiliation. I'm just sharing the 2 latest products that I think really help me out. All right. Next week, I have something cool for all of you folks who need great audio through a shotgun mic. So I'm going to share something with all of you out there. All right, let's get back to it, shall we? Vic is in the house. Welcome, Vic. Good to see you, and good to see all of you over there on TikTok. I haven't forgot about you. All right. I see I got a Nikon shooter in here in TikTok world. Yeah, those over on TikTok, what cameras are you using? You shooting Canon, Sony, Lumix, Nikon, Pentax, whatever it is. Let me know down below. Here we go. We got why not 7? Well, honestly, I have a 7-inch. It's on top of this camera right here. So when I do my talking head videos from here, I use a 7-inch, and I actually like it. It's from Field World. I think it's the F7, and I use it. What the reason why I like using it is obviously the size helps, and it doesn't draw a whole lot of battery. I have the Atomos Ninja 5. That thing kills batteries, but you can record into it. So that's pretty cool. But I generally like 7-inch because it's big enough for me to see the details, the peak focusing and the false colors and everything else. It's big enough for that, but still keeps me kind of compact. So, oh my God, guys, I just thought about this. See this right here? Oh, shoot. Sorry, TikTokers. Kicking over stuff. Oh, awesome. A1, he got the Nikon Z7 II and 5600. Dope. I started my entire photography from the D5100 back in the day. Okay. All right. So anybody know what this is? This is a cine saddle, a camera saddle. Freaking awesome. Okay. Oh, yeah. Absolutely awesome. I don't care what anybody says. This thing is a secret weapon for filmmakers. Phenomenal way to distribute weight off of your arms, off of your back. It's just so good. I get such great steady shots with this. You put the whole rig right in here. I'll talk about that later. But the point is, when I have that set up, I put the monitor, boom, I can just focus on the monitor. I just think the 5 inches is really nice. If I'm doing like a director setup, I would use a 7-inch. But most of the time, the 5 inches just keeps me compact and lightweight. Wait, Markman says, no, not light as heaven. Yeah, not light as heaven. I'm talking too fast, guys. I had like 2 espressos before the show started, okay? So, but it's light as heck, all right? And that's what impressed me the most. And when I had to shoot a wedding last week, I shot, I used the Shinobi Go on the gimbal, and I had the Shinobi Go on my briefcase handle, and I'm telling you, I didn't feel it at all, and it rock and rolled, and it didn't destroy my batteries. Okay, I used a Sony MP battery on the back, and it lasted for most of the day, and it was well, how many hours? It was a 5-hour day. It did a really great job. Okay, and yes, you can put a dummy battery here and then connect the dummy battery to your V-mount battery. So that's how I did it for the rest of the day. Great monitor. All right. So therefore, yeah, that's why it's a long-winded explanation. Nikon Z7, Z6. There you go, brother. Hey, I like that. I think that's a great setup right there. I started with my first mirrorless Nikon was the Z6, but man, when you go to the Z6 Mark III, your head's literally going to explode just like this. Okay, that's what your head's going to do when you go to the Z6 Mark III from the Z6. The autofocus, the video capability, it's such a phenomenal camera. Again, on the Ronin during the wedding, I only used for 5 hours straight the Z6 Mark III, and it was beautiful. I didn't have to worry about autofocus. It was phenomenal. It was great, and absolutely reliable. I had a great time shooting a wedding with that camera. So now that camera is my like gimbal camera, the Z6 Mark III. Let's see here. Awesome. We're still good. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody here on my live stream on TikTok. Good to see you all. Again, if you want to join the live discussion, you can chat with us right now, right here on YouTube. Go to YouTube. All right. Robert Silver Photography. Anyway, hey, Rob, my first cosplay video client is coming up in 3 weeks. Shout out to you. I already have storyboards and such, but it's first time for me doing concept video works using N-Log. Nervous and excited. Shout out to you, Fajar. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. I'm telling you that you guys, some of you really know, if you've been with me for a while, you know I've been screaming from the mountaintops. If we're trying to get paid $1, even 50 cents, you can't avoid video. You have to learn some video. That is where it's at. You see the acquisition with Nikon. They're not only doubling, they're quadrupling down in video. Everything out right now has to work excellent for video. That's where everything's going. And that's where the one area people still pay good money for. Okay. What did I just do in the last wedding? I didn't shoot one photo. I did video. All right. Greg says, good to see humans. I've been in mourning. Z8, Z63, Z6. 2040-70, f2.8, and several other lenses were stolen. Oh my God. Oh. Now living on a Z7, 7200, and a 14-24, trying to get. Oh my God, man. I'm so sorry, everybody. We got to talk. Maybe I should make an episode about that, about how we can be photography in safety, something like that. Something about safety, bringing awareness to shooting with God, I don't even know how to say it. I'm just so sorry you lost your gear. Recently, I got held up at gunpoint. I lost my car, but I didn't lose my gear. At least nothing relevant per se. So, gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Greg. What's your thoughts on Sony's newest release this week? Yes, we are going to talk about that, actually. I don't, Malcolm, that's a you thing. I wish you could jump on stream, but let's talk about that in just 2 seconds, okay? Do you think Nikon would develop a new, thank you, Courage Studios, by the way, for your comments. Do you think Nikon will develop a new super zoom lens that's capable of using an f2 aperture? If so, give me a certain zoom range that would be capable. Well, they just proved that a 50 to 150 is capable. So I would assume somewhere within that range, because Tamron did the 35 to 150 kind of thing. So, but that was f2 to 2.8. So I'm going to say they're going to do something close to what Sony just did, quite honestly. And I have a very strong feeling they're going to answer back with something like that. They can't just let all these brands sneak up on them with these kind of lenses, right? Canon did that 28 to 70 f2, and here's Sony with the 50 to 150. So I'm thinking it's going to be within that zoom range. Let's see. Now, will they do the medium zoom, like a 24 to 70 zoom versus a more telephoto zoom? Gosh, that's a great question. I would, gosh, that's a good one. Now that's a tough question. There's some of me that would say they would do a 24 to 70 f2 kind of style medium zoom lens first, just because they only have one version of the 24 to 70 f2.8 Z lens right now. So they could be like, hey, here's our even more professional version, perhaps like a 28 to 70. I could totally see that. But then, yeah, I could totally see that, because that's kind of what Sony did first. And then, 2 years later, they came out with this 50 to 150. So maybe I'll say that then. Fell says, how was that stolen? Oh, okay. Maybe that question was for Greg. Markman says, I just got a Nan light to help with video. That's what I'm talking about. I'm putting in more work into learning video. That's what I'm talking about. And see, hearing you say that, Markman, about putting in more work to learn video, I have been the one category of brands that reach out to me are lighting companies. And it is that and these dang microphones, but it's the same company. But the video lights, constant lighting, right? LED lights. So now I'm thinking about creative ways to show you how to create cool shots using constant lighting for video specifically. And now that I hear that, now I'm going to double down on it. Okay. So shout out to you. And congrats, man. Did you get the one? Did you get the, hey, Mark, man, did you get the light you were showing me last week? Let me know. Being a strap and I bring a strap, and I'm not talking about peak design. Hello. Okay. All right. Yeah, you got to be safe out there, man. Fell says, I started putting my gear in cubes inside of a small JanSport bag that serves as a decoy bag. It is perfect for these crime heavy times. Yes, it is really, really outrageous what's going on. Photographers over here on TikTok, photographers here on YouTube, you got to stay safe. And if you just feel anything, just trust your gut. There was one time I was shooting video with a model in a garage. It looked really clean. You may have seen the video. I think I posted it on TikTok, actually. Posted on TikTok. But we were shooting a model video, and it was supposed to go much longer, but this car with all these tinted windows came by and drove by us super slow. And I was like, you know what? I was the only guy there. It was me and her. So they could take me out, take her. She had a really nice car, a Mustang, take her out and take the car, take my gear. We'd been screwed. And we're like, yeah, let's bounce. And we just cut immediately right after that. Just trust your gut. Trust your gut. There is no time to be, oh, I want to play it safe. And nah, screw that crap. This gear costs way too much for you to not trust your gut. Yeah, Greg, the email does continue to amaze. They're pumping out some cool stuff. The cameras, I think they pull back on features a little too much so that they make you they make you have to buy the higher grade cameras. But I think outside of that, the E-mount is pretty awesome. I like how they left their mounts so available for different manufacturers. Fajar comes back and says, call me delusional, but I think they're planning a 24-120 2.8. Now, if they do, I will be upset because I have the 24-120 f4 Z lens, and I love that lens. So that will suck. Okay, I'd have to sell it, and I for sure would buy the 2.8 version and get that extra stop of light. Okay, it is what it is. Now, if they could do a 24-120 f2, right? Think about that. A 24-120 f2. Who would buy it? From Nikon. Come on, TikTok. If it was a Nikon Z 24-120 millimeter f2 lens, would you get it? I want to know. Let me know. 24-120 f2. Greg says Fro's review of the 5150 was very positive. Yeah, he absolutely loved it. And you know who else was positive too? Petapixel. Everybody who touched the lens just said they absolutely loved the lens. So, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to try it out. Oh, you know whose I like too? It was oh shit, from Chicago. It was Manny Ortiz. Shout out to him. Because he's in Chicago. Guns up. No, but Manny Ortiz did a phenomenal review, and I really love the compression he got. Remember last week I talked about the lens, and for me, I was like, okay, what is the price difference between Tamron and the Sony lens? And I was right. It's going to be astronomical. It's like $3,500. So, you know, if you want to spend $3,500, you got this cool lens. I could use it for portraits all day, right? 50, 70, and 85, a 105, a 135, and the 150. I mean, that's great for portraits all day. And I love what the compression that comes out of that lens. It looks so nice. When Manny Ortiz was shooting and really just smashing and isolating those subjects when he was shooting the Cubs game, that was really nice. So yeah, if Nikon came out with something like that, it would be great, but it would be almost $4,000. Do not kid yourself. All right. And what was the filter thread? I want to say that filter thread was like a 95 millimeter filter thread. It was huge. So that's what she said. Hello. Malcolm comes back and says, I wish the Sony 28-70 f2 was a 24-70, but I guess maybe we will see a new trifecta of f2 lenses. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. It's also maybe some, mathematically they couldn't have a 24 be an f2 without it being freaking huge, right? So that's another thing as well. As long as you get a medium zoom on the super wide end later on, that could maybe balance things out. But like you said, a new trifecta set of lenses, but it seems like they're building that out right now. Greg comes back. Hey, felt stolen from the house. Oh, most likely by someone familiar with. Man, dude, I'm so sorry. Hold on. Do I have anything for that? No, I don't. Because that's sad, man. I'm really, really, really sorry about that. Mark Man says, yes, I got that light from. Oh, okay. That's what's up, man. Congratulations. Look at you. Let me get the Final Fantasy win. Yeah. Shout out to Mark Man. Getting that NAND light. I'm telling you, that's one thing that's like one of the best investments you can get as a videographer is good lighting. Good lighting. You can't. I tried to do the cheap thing. Those on TikTok, I tried to do the cheap thing. I tried to save money, and guess what? I got burnt every time, meaning not enough power when I need it. And it is what it is. You just need strong lighting. So that's awesome. Glad to hear it. Court Studio comes back. People are crazy. That's why it's best to have your equipment insured. So these things will not happen and save you a lot of headache, like PPA will save you. Yes, absolutely. You definitely want that. What was the one thing they don't cover? They don't cover something at PPA. But yes, you definitely want to have all your coverage. If you're renting, get renter's insurance, get every kind of insurance right now for your gear. Do not hold back. You're absolutely right. I couldn't agree more. It's well worth it. Malcolm Walker comes back and says, damn, you said Windows, and a mid-roll ad came up talking about new Windows. Wow, that is scary and shocking all at the same time, Malcolm. Dang, that's crazy. Okay. Mark Man says, I wonder when Nikon is going to make mind-blowing lenses because E-mount is killing it. You're absolutely right. They definitely are. Hold on, let me get on there. They're definitely killing it with the lenses. Absolutely. Ironically, in our news, in our photography news, they talk about that a little bit. Okay. They did. So let's get to some of this here news. I'm going to share this with you guys. All right. Breaking news. Yep. And all right, here we go. Did you guys like that graphic I just put together literally 10 minutes before I went live? That is the type of investment, the high quality investment I'm giving all of you for tuning in for Let's Talk Photography. I spare no expense. I pull out all the stops. All right. So let's talk about it. First thing up for news. Let me get to the right window. Jesus, got all these windows. Nikon just discounted the D6 camera. Wow. Discontinued. Did I say discounted? Discontinued, my bad. Okay, at these several camera shops right here. And got me thinking, is DSLR dead? It really honestly kind of says DSLR for professional photographers, professional Nikon. Yeah, that seems like a dead market. And if not dead, they don't see the value in investing more in that arena. What do you guys think about that? Post your comments down below. Hope RF not having much third party. Nah, Canon shot themselves in the foot by keeping it closed like that. They really did, because now you're not talking or wanting to talking about Canon. You're not trying to like pick up a Canon and try a new lens out with it. Yeah, they kind of shot themselves in the foot with that. All right, you would buy it, Aaron. That's what I'm talking about, brother. I would too. A 24 to 120 f2 lens. I'd buy it immediately. That'd be great. It'd probably be the only portrait lens I would freaking have. Need to leave the house with, quite honestly. And Greg said, definitely getting it saved. Yeah, brother, do that. Or at least let's see. Aaron comes back. Yes, all my gear is insured. Awesome. I keep mine insured for under my home. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I have renter's insurance and stuff like that. Nick says, I've needed the PPA insurance to do a birthday shoot at a big hotel. Yeah, I've had to get their commercial, what is that, lock key or something like that? Lock something or other for commercial. What is it? General liability commercial insurance. It was actually pretty affordable, like 200 something for the full year. But I had to do that for a wedding shooting in a fancy hotel. So there, everybody on TikTok, make sure you get your stuff insured. All right. Don't forget it. Aaron says smart play. Yeah, exactly. That's very smart. Nick says I had to add the hotel to the, yeah, exactly. And then I do the same thing and like send them the PDF or something. He said, "Oh no, panic time! Sell all my F mount gear." Yeah, man, I'm telling you, listen to the signs. The signs, they're loud and clear. I believe Nikon will put the gold emblem or lining part into it to make it more characteristic and more professional looking. I'm confident. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. If they do a f2 zoom lens, they're definitely going to make it a gold. A lot of people have been obviously commenting about the lack of the gold rings, but they did put it on that 35 to 1 sugar honey 120, whatever that zoom PZ lens is. So yeah, it'll be nice to bring that back. It adds a little touch of sex appeal, you know. Aaron says, I let my son use my DSLR. And that's what I did. I gave my first camera, the Nikon D5 5100. I gave that to my daughter before she left high school. And I told her, don't ever sell it. I want to still be able to look at the camera and remember where I started buying my first Nikon camera in Best Buy. 2 lens kit, brother. Yeah. That's what that was. And that started all the madness from there. So that's one piece of news. Let's take a look at what we were just talking about right here. Okay. Now we're at Sony. Now, obviously they had a great experience here at Petapixel. For those on TikTok, we're looking at petapixel.com's overall review of the Sony 50 to 150 f2.8 lens that they just released this week. This would be a fun lens for portraits, I tell you that. And what I've seen is that not only is it really great for portraits, but the zoom and autofocus is phenomenal, that you could use it for sports too. So that's actually really, really cool. Oh, Mark Ryan says, I bought my first Nikon at Best. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, they got me at Best Buy because I didn't know shit, you know. So it is what it is. Would I go back to Best Buy to buy a camera? Probably not. You know, I'll go to a local camera store if I had to. Matter of fact, I have to bring a camera in for repair. So I need to go to my local camera store called Mike's Camera. Shout out to Mike's. All right, let's go back to the story here. I wonder what the filter thread is on this bad boy. See, yeah, so like where is it? I'm just wondering what this filter thread is. That thing looks big. So, oh my God. It says it may be 3,900. What the heck? Tamron, that's crazy. Would anybody buy this at this price? Would anybody buy this lens at that price? If this lens is $4,000, would you buy it? Would you buy the Sony 50 millimeter to 50 to 150 millimeter f2.0 G Master lens? Would you buy that for $4,000? Damn, that thing looks. Let's see. I wish I could find a filter. It doesn't say it here. Oh, 95 millimeter filter thread. Woo! Those are going to be expensive. Those are going to be expensive. Greg said, nope. Hey, man, you know what? That's a tough sell for me. I'll tell you that right now. I'll just buy another camera body. I'll buy the Blackmagic Pixis 12K. If I had $4,000, I'll buy a cinema camera. Screw that. There's no way I'm buying that lens. But it is a pretty cool lens, though. Oh, okay. Okay, I knew Malcolm would come in with something. He'll always come in with the cheap hook. All right. So he says basically it's at least 4 lenses. So yeah, I guess so. If you don't have those 4 lenses at f2 or 1.8 or whatever, yeah, okay. And you have one lens to rule them all. But if you already spent money on all those lenses, would you still get that one zoom lens? Right? For $4,000. Nick says, well, I did buy the 500 mil for 3,500. Oh, Jesus. There's always one. There's always one. No, let me stop. Hey, man, for 3,500, you bought that 500 mil? But that's a well, that's all right. Shout out to you. I don't have anything to say. Hey, I just bought my Cine lenses. They weren't 3,500, but as soon as I saw they were available, I pressed a buy. Oh, that would be a fun episode. Let's talk about gas in another episode. Who would like to talk about gas? You know, photography and having too much gas. I think that'd be a fun talk. Let me know what you guys think about that kind of a conversation. All the gear we wasted our money on that we wish we didn't buy, and stuff that we wasted our money on and was like, hell yeah, I'm still happy with it. Will you guys be down to talk about that in a future episode? Let me know. All right, next piece of topic here. Where are we at? Oh, now this right here, the next thing is acquiring Red let Nikon immediately respond to the changing video market. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that isn't because this was an absolutely riveting article that they had with folks at Nikon, but it did bring something up to me. It was that they were talking about lenses, because someone mentioned lenses earlier in the chat. Someone mentioned earlier about, you know, we need more lenses from Nikon. Now, let me change this over for you guys. There we go. And new vintage Nikon, which is absolutely another. Okay. And they mentioned right here how much time it takes to develop lenses. Okay. So that lens that they just put out, the power zoom, the Z28 to 135 millimeter f4 lens, that was in development even before the Red acquisition. It just so happened to work out in its favor, but it more Cine, because they're talking about having Cine lenses, and they're saying it could take anywhere from 2 to 4 years. I don't think it would take that long. I really don't. I don't think it's going to take that long for Nikon to come out with their own Z Cinema, as you see up here, Z Cinema grade of lenses. Okay. First of all, there's tons of manufacturers that can make it for them pretty quickly. And who did something similar to that? Well, Leica and who did Leica and Panasonic kind of shared lens technology, or even build a little bit. Like they're very similar when you get the mirrorless cameras of Leica and Panasonic L mount. Yeah, very similar. Okay, look at the Lumix f1.8 lenses. Very similar to the Leicas. So I don't think it would take 4 years for them to start coming out with a batch of cinema. I think, mark my words, I'm gonna say, where are we at now? We're in April with the P to Z mount. Damn, you know what? We have these tariffs to worry about. But I was gonna say within the next year. Within the next year. And I'll tell you why. Um, I'm gonna say, well, first off, is to support the Z mount in the red camera systems that they just introduced. So to double down on the logical step, or the, like, hey, we made a good move by releasing a gold ring, Z mount red camera. Well, now we have our own proprietary lenses that work natively with it. Holy cow. So I think they would want to do that sooner than later. Also, for those who shoot video, to double down on the video capability of the Nikon Z6 III, for sure the Z8 and Z9 having that as well. What else is there? I think those are the two biggest reasons, is because it'll get to a point where they have camera bodies that do great video, and they're like, hey, we have red, we got these cameras, and we do all these mirrorless still photography lenses. It's only natural that they want to hurry up and get those Z Cinema, as it's now, their department or whatever called, grade of lenses, and they're cheaper to make. They're cheaper to make. I just bought, a whole set of these, for $1,500 because I got it on Kickstarter. 3 full frame lenses, metal build, great quality, quiet, super. You could barely hold up. Can you hear it? Come on. Great build, $1,500. So if you're going to tell me it's going to take 4 years for Nikon to come out with a set of only manual focus lenses, cine lenses, you're out of your mind. I don't think so. I think they'll do something similar to what's being done here. Okay. Because they did that when the Z cameras came out. They did the same thing. They went after the f1.8 lenses first. Remember that? And then they cracked open all the other pro stuff. So just saying, that's just my prediction. And I think that this is also a signal for anybody out there trying to make a buck or two off of photography. You have to get into video. If these companies are now showing you their decision to get into video now, it means it was already in their mindset back then. And also, they're responding to how people are using media too. If people are only posting photos in print ads and newspapers and magazines, well, guess what? We'd be selling and talking about more still photography based lenses and everything else. How many frame rates and all this other bullshit that used to matter. Now, video is the name of the game. It's the name of the game. So if you either want to sink or swim, get into video. I guarantee you, it's going to be going to be the one area that you can still make real good money. Sure, you can make great money at photos, but I don't know how many times people say, "Oh, do you do video too?" And that's what they call in selling 101 an upsell. All right. The secret, ancient, mystical martial art of upselling. Right. And then you just, oh, I do photos. Oh, okay. You do headshots. Oh, okay. Well, now if you know how to do some video, some basic editing, boom, you can upsell more. That's what it's about. It's not about more clients. It's about better clients. All right. All right. Let's get to some comments, shall we? All right. Greg says Nikon makes excellent lenses. I'm glad for Sony users, but this kind of, that is kind of high. Yes, the point you and Malcolm make it is, if I already had a Holy Trinity set of top tier lenses, probably wouldn't. Exactly. I think it makes sense if you don't. Otherwise, if you spend 600 to 900 on like all these primes, even if it's just 1.8, I'd be like, damn, I could just use these lenses. And a lot of 1.8 lenses aren't big and they're not heavy. That's all I'm saying. Of course, 4,000 price is probably not too much for people used to buying top tier wildlife. No, no, 100%. If that's your jam, Mazel tov, do your thing. Beside wedding shooters, I think it will be a great entry level lens for serious astrophotographers. Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a real good point, Malcolm. Thank you for that. Nick says, I am trying with video on a D850, but it's working with low. Oh, shoot. God, I can't believe it. Jesus. The D850. Oh, God, I shall pray for you, my child. Okay. But if you ever rock and roll with the Z6 III, your life it's life changing compared to the D850. Now, I had the D850 until I sold it to get the what did I sell it for? I think it was the Z9. Okay. It was an absolute monster. It's a phenomenal camera, the best DSLR full frame camera ever made, that D850. But for video, oh boy, that's a stretch. That's a stretch. Just try out the Z6 Mark III. Phenomenal. Again, 6K, all that good stuff. Oh, you got a trick. Focus in on photo mode, go back to video and do it in sport. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, if that works out for you, brother, shout out to you. Okay. All right. I like that. If it works, hey man, if it works, it works. I literally am impressed that you're making it work. So shout out to you, Nick. Okay. Are you shooting it with the 500? Let me know if you're shooting it with that 500 millimeter. That'd be kind of cool. Let me know if you're using that big old lens with the 500. Let's see here. Do we have any other news? I'm actually opening up different news sources like Petapixel I use a lot and some other ones. I'm using cined.com. They're all about filmmaking and videography. And check out this cool thing. I didn't know I liked it until I saw tons of reviews. All right, let me show you guys this right here. Okay, let me do my magic thing over here. Share this. All right, let's go. Check this out. Check this out right here. Has anybody seen this? I know you've probably seen some videos on it, but I saw a couple of video creators review this on YouTube. It's the Insta360 X5 that was just released. Okay. It has a 1 inch, a little bit above a 1 inch sensor in there, user replaceable lenses for when you crash it and such. Water dust, not proof, but like resistant. Has a new Insta frame mode. Records both full 360 video and a flat version for quick viewing. Oh, that's cool. And rugged and waterproof up to 15 meters, 49 feet. That's pretty cool too. Now, I think I would want to test this. This thing looks kind of cool. Who could you? I would use this for BTS content all day. I just put it right there on a tripod mount and press record and do a photo shoot and bring you guys a photo shoot like this. That's what I would use this for. I records 2 versions of video. That's pretty cool. Could anybody there on TikTok use a 360 camera and what would you do with it? Come on now. What would you guys do? That's pretty cool. Hold on. Let me go back up here. Cool. There we go. Let me see. Malcolm says, besides winning shoes, I think it would be great entry-level lens for serious fit. Oh, yeah, absolutely it would be. Let's see. Oh, the 7300 works really good for video. That's what I use for the Heron video I posted on. Okay, I'm going to check that out as soon as we're done. Excuse me. Now, Humminbird was the 500 mil. Ooh, nice. Okay, I bet that background was crushed. That's awesome. 360 cameras are fun, but not very practical for images. But for video, they look super fun. For video, they look really fun. And again, for me to shoot BTS, let's say if I go to a fashion show and I use a 360 camera, you can get the photography pit and the runway show, right? And it does up to 8K, I believe. I could have sworn it said 8K. Let's go take a look see. Yep, 8K up to 30 frames a second. Wait, what the heck? Select the same shapes. What the hell? Why is my select two objects that are the same shape? Holy Christ. Why is my TikTok gonna end if I don't the same shape? Oh my god, my TikTok's gonna end. It says we have detected an activity during your current live. What? That's crazy. I've been talking this whole time. You hear that, TikTok? What's up with that? It says it's been noticing inactivity. I've been talking this whole dang stream. That's wild. All right. It says we've detected inactivity during your current live. I'm like, that's funny. There we go. All right, TikTokers. I guess they want me to do something. I don't know what they want me to do over here to keep you guys. But you're watching, you're pressing the heart, which I appreciate. Uh Let me see what this is. Maybe I have to press engagements. Oh, what the hell? They have like quick questions on TikTok that's like the most stupidest thing. Like, do you believe in love? No, we're talking about cameras here. Yeah, I do. I do believe in loving my camera, my lenses, and my lighting. Okay. I mean, this is ridiculous. Talking about I was inactive. Weird. Um Thank you, A1. I really appreciate you, man. I don't know what's going on with this TikTok. If you guys can hear I have to give this sound effect for TikTok. Shh. All right. Anyway, so it does 8K up to 30 frames a second. That's pretty dope. I wouldn't shoot at 8K, but I would shoot, 4 or 6, something like that. That is pretty cool. Here we go. HDR, active HDR, 5.7K at 60 frames a second. It's kind of like my GoPro. But I like what people were able to do is like, look at these perspectives. That is kind of cool. You get down to here, then go up to here, then go over to here. I mean, that is kind of cool. That is kind of cool to be able to do that. It's just creative. Again, it's like these brands that are really focusing on video are the ones that are winning. Ergo like DJI. Right? Oh yeah, forgot to say that. I'm so sorry. What's up, Roy? No, they're not practical for images, but for video, they are pretty fun. That's what it looks like to me. They look really, really fun, quite honestly. All right. I think we're good right there. All right. Looks like we are caught up on comments. Thank you everybody for commenting. I always and do appreciate it. Thank you everybody here on TikTok hanging in there. Even though they say I'm not active, try daily ranking stickers. I'm not sure what that means. New ranking stickers show viewers your ranking on live. Okay, whatever. I'm telling you, here, add a sticker. There we go. Add a sticker, daily no way. To remove a sticker. Okay. Okay. Now how do I add a sticker? I don't know how this whole TikTok thing goes. Jesus. Let's see here. Can you add anything to this thing? Jesus. You know what? Hell if I know. This TikTok thing is crazy. It's got too much. Oh, there we go. Daily ranking. What about mine? Who cares about everybody else's? I don't care about that. Shoot. All right. I don't care about that. Shoot, you go watch another stream. All right. Malcolm says, I probably have avoided getting involved with TikTok. Never download. You know what? Once I did and all this stuff happened, I was like, all right, they already got whatever they need. And I figured why not? And some people do really well in terms of drawing business or at least attention to their brand. So I said, let me just post stuff and see what happens. This live stuff is pretty cool. It is pretty fun, but the I'm still trying to understand how I can engage more with my crew here on TikTok. And let me see. Does it let me do cool stuff on this thing? Flip camera? Da, da, da. No, I guess not. It is what it is. I'm trying to see how I could do more cool stuff for people here on TikTok. And sure enough, it's harder than hell for me to figure this thing out. That's what happens when the guy with gray hair is jumping on this TikTok. Um, awesome. Love the love. Courage Studio says I never really found TikTok very reliable for my photography business. Only Facebook and Instagram only. Does anyone agree? Well, I'm not gonna lie, I agree. For me personally, it's been Instagram, Facebook, and of course Google that I've gotten business from, and making sure I have good Yelp reviews too. Good Yelp reviews is another place. But make sure, Courage, that you're sending a link to your business profile on Google to all your previous clients. That's what I do. After they get it, they say it's great. Right soon as I deliver the final photos or video, and they tell me how great it was, I then email them with a link. Hey, go review me real quick. So those are my top three: is the Instagram, Facebook, and Google. Mark Man says, let's link up on a photo shoot someday. Yeah, man, we need to. This Sunday, I'm actually doing something very private. So, Mark Man, send me a message on IG. I'm doing something, but it'll be in Marin. Just a couple of us. And I think you'll like it. Okay? If you want to just come hang out. Malcolm Walker says making a sketchy marketplace deal in front of Best Buy, selling an A7S III small rig cage. You're my witness. Yes, we got you, brother. Hey, I got your back. Okay, don't worry about it. Mark Man says actually I should be out that way on Sunday. Dope. Yeah. So like I said, just send me a message real quick. Awesome. Peace and love. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, everybody, here on the Tickety Talk Talk. God, I wish I knew how to use this shit better. Add a live goal. Check out requirements. What does a live goal do? Get more viewers, unlock monetize. Go live on 3 separate days. Oh, okay. I have to go live 3 separate days. All right, TikTok. I guess I'll go live a little bit more often. All right, Mark, make sure you DM me. Does anyone use Instagram? Ooh, it sounds like shade. I do. But I have found I do get requests through Instagram, whether it be to review stuff or clients. So Instagram is still legit. I use it to show brides my work and examples of ring shots. Nice. That's good. I like that. That's a pretty sweet way to use Instagram. Yeah, like the way I look at it is your website is for your best work and social media is for your most current work. So that's kind of how the strategy I use to market myself. Again, website for your best work. It's your brochure. Hey, I'm amazing. This is what I do. And Instagram is, hey, this is what I'm up to. This is what I just did. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know that, Dark Wedding Photographer. That sheriff stations let you use their lobby and parking lot for online transactions. That is what's up. Wow. That is a that's pretty cool. My local police station doesn't have a parking lot, so I'm pretty screwed. But I could go in their lobby at least, I guess. But that's pretty cool. Awesome. That's a real good tip, especially when we're just talking about safety. as a photographer, you know? Gosh. All right. Real quick for like 10 minutes, let's talk about these failures, okay? Because I feel like a failure that I didn't talk about it. We talked about everything else today, but that's all right. Looks like we are all caught up here. Oh, wait. I made a really sketchy deal one night at Walmart buying $1,000 50 millimeter for $300. I brought back brought in a fire on that night at 1 a.m. Woo wee. All right. Well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, brother. All right. Well, I'm glad you're safe. All right. Let's get to the main event. All right. I spare no expenses for you guys. That graphic was, top tier, obviously. All right. Now, the main topic of today was about what mistakes have we made that ended up being the biggest positive lessons that we've learned, right? Because we've all made it. I make them, you make them, we all make them. What is a mistake that you've made that was such a wise lesson that you learned through your failure? Well, one for me is and it could be stupid simple like this. Like if you ever shoot video, like I used to think I could get around shooting video without ND filters, right? Like that. Yeah, nope, that's not the one. Right. I used to really try to I knew better. Like just because I could look in the back of the screen and increase the shutter speed and think it's better, I was just messing up all my video, quite honestly. I didn't know the relation between frames per second and shutter speed. I was just a hot mess. That was it had to have been 12 years ago, something like that. And when I just launched this channel, because this channel is 10 years old, but I really started to go hard, I don't know, right after COVID. But yeah, I would do stupid stuff like that and be like, why would I spend money on an ND filter? Oh, now, dude, I have 2 ND filters for every filter size, general filter size. I have 277s, 282s. I have 167, 177. Wait, 77, 82. What is it, 72? Something like that. But I got to get one more 67, so I have 2 of each, by the way. And now I cannot leave the house without an ND filter. Absolutely not. And here's another stupid mistake. Thinking you have enough batteries, right? Thinking you have enough batteries. That is a sure way to shoot yourself in the face is, oh, I got enough batteries. If you think 1 is enough, grab 2. If you think 2 is enough, grab 3. Okay? There's a saying, 3 is 2, 2 is 1, 1 is none. All right? And it's so true, especially with batteries. When I show up to a wedding, my magic number is 6. I gotta have at least 6 batteries for each camera. Okay. Even if I'm powering that camera A with a V mount, I still want backup batteries for it. I don't care. That'll be one sure way for you to ruin a wedding is having no power or any event or client project. Gotta have it. When I got 1 V mount battery, I knew my mission was to get 2, just in case 1 goes down. So that's one of mine. Let's see what you guys got. I know you guys got some war stories out there, even you folks there out on TikTok. All right. I know you're not perfect. I know you're making mistakes, just like me. Let's see here. Malcolm says that's a good tip. Absolutely. I always thought that, oh boy, the ND filters, man, I was real bad. Those graphics put ESPN to shame. Thank you, brother. Yeah, really appreciate it. Okay. Where's my coins at? Oh no, we got the Ric Flair. I do this for a living. Yeah, that's right. I'm the best there is, brother. Okay. We got fell back saying buying too many stuff like lights and then not using them. I love natural light too much. Well, you know what? That's a good lesson learned. Me, I'm the same way. My girlfriend gets at me now. Like, even when I get the lens for free, she's like, oh, let me guess, it's another light. And let me tell you, I can light up a city with the damn lights I have. And but it is addictive. And I always end up using just one light. That's the funny part. I always end up using one stupid light, and that's all I needed. It is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. Too much lighting. That's you're absolutely right. And too much stuff in general. So, real quick, everybody. Hey, everybody, on TikTok, my phone. Oh, wait, hold on. We're gonna keep this party going. Let me get this battery. Let's see if I can reach over here. Yeah, look at you guys there on TikTok. Yeah, I got all right. Got the cord in my phone so we can keep this party going. Everybody there on TikTok. Okay, I'm keeping this party going. I got the cord hooked up in there, even though I only got 12% left. I'm keeping the show going. So smash that heart for me right now and for today only. It is free 99 to smash that heart. So don't be cheap. Smash that like. Let's see here. Drunk Wedding Photographer says, my biggest mistake was comparing myself to the big guys, not seeing I had my own style from the get-go. Realized it after 5 years ago. Wishing it was sooner, but lesson learned. Yeah. That's a real good one. That's a real good one right there because, I mean, I even find myself once in a while when I see even larger content creators, larger YouTubers or whatever, and I'm like, dang, you start comparing yourself like, oh, I see why they're doing so well because look how they're doing it. And now I spend a lot less time on Instagram. I'm not sure if folks notice, but I don't post every day like I used to. And because it gets to a trap and subconsciously you start comparing yourself. That's the ugly side of social media. And it happens to me. And you're absolutely right. I think that's a great lesson learned. And that's right. You got to trust your own style, right? Trust your own swag. And I noticed that for me, I didn't realize that, hey, do people want to hear me talk for a freaking hour? And thankfully, a few of you do tune in and check on it. And you're the reason why I try to make sure I stream every Thursday. So thank you all. Appreciate that. But that's a great lesson learned. Manila Martin comes in from the Philippines. Hey. And he says, never enough lights for me. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, backlighting everything. Tons of gels. Oh, dang. Double and triple stacking them. Roscoe and Lee gels. Yes, I have Roscoe. Yeah, I got them right over here. Shout out to them. I've burnt a few of those gels on some flashes where they had the tungsten tube in there and melt the whole thing. So shout out to them. Yeah. Never enough lights, right? But ironically, I only need like one or two most of the time. And Markman says, I got too much gas. And for those that don't know on TikTok what gas is, it's gear acquisition syndrome. Okay. If you've been in photography more than 3 months, you probably have gas. Uh-oh. Whoop. Yes, you do. Pat yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the back. I think Macho Man Randy Savage has some gas. Let's ask him. Oh yeah. Yes, he does. I guess so. It is what it is. We're all afflicted. Malcolm Walker says, I'm alive. Met a nice Canon to Sony convert. Oh, awesome. Wow. Okay. He went from Canon to Sony. See, I'm telling you, maybe we need to talk about that. Canon is really slow to the game. The Canon is letting Nikon push out to the forefront. Let's talk about that. Okay. Nikon has been swinging haymakers for the past couple of years and hitting it out of the park. Hey, they come up the bat, eyes closed, pow, home run. Canon's, man, what's up with Canon? Fell says, I'm hoping Nikon doesn't release anything I can resist anytime soon, like a new ZF or his lens. Yes, I totally get it, man. Hey, I get it. If they come out with a box cinema camera, like I don't know. If they came out with a red full frame, I'd probably have to cut all my credit cards. Hello.
Oh yeah.
You know, because I'd be in trouble. I'd be like, all right, where do I deposit my money? So Roy says, I don't suffer from GAS. I enjoy it. There you go. You know, it's all about perspective, right? It's all about perspective. But we all have it in some shape or form. Nick says, Canon dropped the ball. Yes. And they gotta release this death grip on the RF mount. Knock it off. Knock it off. The reason why Sony is winning is because they let everybody get lenses. So therefore, as long as you have their camera body, you could find an affordable lens that works for you and your budget from some other manufacturer. But the most important part is that you're in the Sony E-mount ecosystem. I thought that was super smart. Canon doing that, no bueno. Nikon is starting to let people, you know, they have Tamron, some Sigma, and definitely third parties like these Cine lenses have Z-mount. So it's like Nikon is starting to let loose a little bit, because the main important thing is giving those Nikon or Sony shooters or Canon shooters options. That's the name of the ticket. Give them options. Roy says, I'd love Nikon to release a 10 to 20 millimeter zoom like the Canon one. Ooh wee. Z mount, right? I'm guessing you're thinking Z mount. That would be kind of cool. I'd shoot some portraits with it just to see what I could create with it. It'd be super interesting. Very distorted, like funky ass glass. That'd be kind of cool. Malcolm says for video too. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. For video? Wait, no, did you mean like the when you say for video, what do you mean by for video, Malcolm? Let me know down below. Fel says, oh yeah, a super wide lens by Nikon would be, yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be cool. I still have to get the Z 14 to 24 millimeter f2.8 lens. I am so ashamed with myself that I still don't have that classic lens. And so technically for Z mount, I don't own the Trinity. I don't own the Trinity for the Z mount. Now, isn't that shameful? All this talking I'm doing, I don't own it. I don't have it yet. Now, do I think it's a bad lens? No, actually, I think it's a fantastic lens paired with the Z6 Mark III. I think it fits well. It's a great size for it. I don't know why I have it yet. I really, oh, that's why, actually, my bad. It's because I wanted to get this set of lenses first. And once I pay that off, I'll have to get that. And then I'll get the 135 1.8 lens. Come on. Fel says, oh yeah, super wide lens by not. Yep. And he says, I guess he means for vlogging. Yeah, wow, for vlogging, the 10 might be super duper wide. A 20 is cool. I think a 20 is a sweet spot for vlogging. I like a 20. Oh, okay. Copy that. I like a 20 mil for vlogging. It's good enough to hold to yourself and like still get you in a nice wide shot of the environment you're in. You don't have to hold it super far away. So I like a 20 mil personally. The Pocket 3 on the wide end is technically like a 20 millimeter. So it's really comfortable in that you don't have to hold it super far and you're not like showing everything in the background. So it's still kind of controlled too. Albert, welcome, man. Welcome to the Jump in the Water. It is warm. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Boy, I'm guessing how do you all feel about this new time slot at 4 p.m.? Did you like that I started streaming an hour earlier than usual? I'm thinking I want to stick to this time slot for 4 p.m. So those on the East Coast, it's only 7 p.m. versus the 8 p.m. You know, just for those who have to wake up early the next day on Friday. Let me know what you think about starting this live stream at 4 p.m. Okay, let me see. Yes. Is this a time slot that fits you better? Can you hang out a little bit longer with me here on YouTube and TikTok? Is this a slot that says, you know what? I'm going to grab a snack and see what Robert's talking about on his YouTube channel. I want to see what kind of cameras, what rants will be ranted, what gears will be geared, what lightings will be lit. Is 4 p.m. a better time? All right. I didn't even do my special voice. Let me see if I got it. Does 4 p.m. work better for all of you out there on YouTube than 5 p.m.? I like that. It makes me sound more mysterious. But anyway, I am curious though. I think I'm going to give it another go. I did notice a few of you that I perhaps didn't see as early jump on, which is great, and hang in there a little bit longer too. A few of you I know are on the other side of the planet, so I hope the new time slot works. But it also allows me to stay on a little bit longer and not kill my dinner. Because usually I eat after this, and when I start at 5, now I'm eating at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and it gets a little late for me. You know what I mean? Fel says, I keep missing your lives. Oh, shoot. Well, even at 5 p.m. and 4 p.m., I'll try to shoot. See, Thursdays work best for me because generally I don't have a project usually on Thursdays. Fridays, everybody books Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's like, Thursday's a safe day to stream. So that's why I ask. Also for you out there in TikTok land, let me know. Okay. Awesome. Like that. All right. Let me go through my board here. Oh, Phil says, at this time, I got to see this. Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Thanks a lot. I will for sure. Let's see here what else I got. I think I'm all caught up on the news. Let's see here. Yes. So what I want to do perhaps next time is open up the live chat to anybody who wants to join the table here, if you will. Okay. So next week, if you want to jump on, you get your camera ready, click the link and jump on in, and we'll just talk some smack about a couple of topics we'll bring up. Okay. Malcolm, I hope that's you. You're one of them. And then whoever else, maybe Nick, if Nick wants to jump on, you're more than welcome to. Anybody else, Courage Studios, Mark Man, anybody who wants to jump in tomorrow, next week, I'm going to open it up, and you all are welcome to do just that. With that said, I am a little tired. All right. What is this? An hour? Yeah. Hour and a half. Yeah. That's long enough, brother. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Malcolm. I'll reach out to you and remind you. Okay. With that said, you already know what happens when I turn this sucker on. All right. Yeah. Oh, shoot. It's another smooth ending to another live stream. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I love the love that everybody shares. I really appreciate that. It's good to see you all here on my live stream. I know, Albert, you just kind of just tuned in, but we've been live for a minute, so I apologize, but it is what it is. With all that said, you already know, go ahead and follow me on all the socials. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and all the good stuff. So go ahead and follow me. All the links to my social channels are down below in the description section. They're on TikTok. If you want to join the discussion, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel here on YouTube right now. So, thank you all. I hope you like this new time slot. I think I'm going to keep it for 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. for you East Coast folks. So get used to that. Is that, yeah, good. These lives don't have to be 2 or 3 hours. Yes, exactly. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Phil. Awesome. Yes. Okay. So thank you very much. Awesome. Thank you, Malcolm, very much. I'll see you next week, brother. I'd love to have you as a guest. Anybody else has any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. That's probably the best way to get at me. Well, as always, until next time, keep shooting and stay creative. Thank you, everybody, for watching.